YouTube, Awesome Rider here. This is going to be my video talking about the announcement of our brand new Rider series coming after Gav, Kamen Rider Zeztz, Zane, Zach, whatever it is. They didn't even say how to pronounce it in the trailer, so I'll learn to pronounce it eventually. But we got a little teaser for it, and actually some really exciting news all around. I mean, right off the top, it's going to be simulcast here in the US as well as other places, so that's super exciting. I'm going to imagine subbed, right? Maybe they'll do a dub. I hope they do a sub, though, just because I can't take dubs with, live action seriously. It always just comes across as dorky to me. I tried to watch Netflix's Dark like that. I'm like, I just can't do it. It's dorky. But I hope it's subbed, regardless. That is super cool news. You know, they've been trying to sort of make Kamen Rider happen a little bit here in the US for a while with toy releases and stuff like figure arts and the belts and the DVD releases and some of the streaming, I believe. Some of the series I think that they have for DVD or Blu-ray or streaming. But anyway, this is super exciting, especially at a time where, you know, our usual Toku here in America, Power Rangers, is on permanent hiatus. So that's really cool. I really hope it amounts to something. I don't see it becoming like a phenomenon, but I think it could be a foothold. You know, I think that's really neat. I've always said that I think if you can get the right audience, especially since, you know, stuff like animes become more mainstream, if you can get people to like this niche thing, I think it could really build an audience and open doors up for other series and more for Rider as well. So that's super exciting and super cool. So yeah, that's a really neat part of it. There is like a little teaser trailer where they're like tradition and action and stuff, and it comes across like a car ad, like an ad for a brand new car. I guess it's our brand new car for the year, brand new Rider, but it's just kind of funny. Like, it's kind of neat, but it does come across like a car ad. Also, I don't know why it reminds me of the Paunch Burger ad for Parks and Rec. They're like, Paunch Burger, put it in your mouth or you're a nerd. That sounded, but I think that's what they said in the ad. So anyway, you do have a little teaser with it that shows off the suit kind of in some areas. Like, there's, I think, an area by an old building, and there's like an area in like a garage with a bike, excuse me, and it looks really cool. It's a very back to basics suit. Like, it looks like a spin on Ichigo's colors, and it's kind of one of those ones like 0-1 or Double where they're kind of going back to a base level approach and obviously harkening back to the core design of Ichigo, because that's kind of the point. And the belt, I believe, is just on the chest. I don't think they even have one on the belt area. It's just on the chest. It's like, that's how badass I am. I'm breaking the rules. I'm going to wear the belt like a sash. Like, yeah, I'm looking at a picture right now. He's got it on his chest. I think that's super cool. There'll probably be some traditionalists that are against it, but I think it's really neat. I really dig the design. I always do love a good back-to-basics design as much as I really like some of the more out-there designs and some creative ones. I do like these ones that are more grounded. It makes me really curious what the show is going to be like. I was hoping for a little bit more of a grounded theme next year because, you know, Gav's great. I really do like Gav. I love those series like Gav, like Gaim, that can have an off-the-wall theme and have you take it seriously. I think that is a very endearing facet of Toku, but I think it's nice to have balance. You know, Gotchard's theme wasn't necessarily silly, but we definitely have had two more kind of poppy, in-your-face, bright themes, and so I think it's nice to have that balance where you have that variety there. So I was hoping for that, period. But I'm curious, just because we're doing the simulcast thing, like how much they're factoring that in and trying to broaden the appeal and pull people in, and maybe it'll be a little bit more of a grounded feeling series. I'm not saying like, I'll put it on HBO, but you know what I mean. I think that that's a possibility, and I don't have anything to go on. There's a brief little synopsis, which I'll read off here in a second, or like summarize, it's like a sentence. But I'm just legitimately curious if we're going to get a more grounded tone, maybe to try to pull in more of the US audiences and kind of ease them into the silliness. Also, like, I wonder if there's a chance we could have less writers in this series, just because, you know, we've been going kind of all out, like even in series that aren't presented as many writers. Like, obviously you have series like Zeztz that's presented as a many writer series, but even in series where you start with 1-2 writers, and you have like a core 4, you always end up having like 8 writers plus by the end of the series, and so many different gimmicks and forms and variants, and there's probably going to still be that because they're going to sell the toys in Japan and they're not going to want to take away that revenue. But I'm just going to secretly hope that this could mean a little bit lesser of amount of writers. I think that would be really great. Like, imagine if we only had 2 writers, and I've always said, can we just do 1 writer, maybe 2 writers, and then just go balls nuts with the forms? Just, you know, that'd be fine. Just, I want a little bit more of a grounded aspect with that, with not so many characters. Maybe a 3rd villainous writer, I don't know, but just kind of the focus on, you know, the lone Kamen Rider in this little teaser makes me hopeful that we might get a series that will only feature 1 or 2 writers. I think that would be super cool. And I think it's really cool because it feels like kind of a refresh in a way. And all I have to go on is the teaser, but it makes me feel like this might have a different tone than what we've been getting. You know, I see a lot of people talking about the Reiwa era and like, oh, it's so different than this, and this is what they're going for with the Reiwa era. But for me, the Reiwa era is the same as the Heisei era. I feel like there wasn't an attempt to make anything really different. I think Zeztz was the only thing that felt different. I think it was just business as usual with the new, title slapped onto it. So I'm excited by this, and I'm in much more of a better position to be excited by Rider. Last year, I certainly was excited to get out of Gotchard and have the potential of a new show, but it kind of wore me down where I was kind of like, well, it can't get worse. And now, though, I'm on a Rider high from Gav, so I'm excited for something new, as sad as I'm going to be to see that series leave. But yeah, lastly, just the little blurb we get just says that he's an agent that goes into people's dreams for missions. That sounds super cool because I can make Dream Warriors references. And that sounds like it could maybe have some spooky stuff in there, and that kind of makes me happy. I'm kind of hoping for a badass protagonist, as much as I really appreciate Gav showing me that you can have your specialist boy type protagonists and still have them be likable and interesting. I do think, yet again, I wish we'd have some variety. I still think 8 out of 10 times we get that same cut from the same cloth protagonist. And not that I want them to have a badass every year, but I think having a more badass character, not even necessarily like a jerk badass, but just kind of like a normal, cool character. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I will keep you guys posted as always as we get more looks at the toys and any other stuff. And of course, when we get the eventual press conferences and trailers. But what do you think about this and the future of Rider with all this? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, Dawson Rider signing out.